Hello! Today we're going to be decorating my house for Valentine's Day. I'm very excited. It's one of my favorite holidays and I have a big tub of Valentine's things. So we'll go through that and just put some things out. And then I want to make a heart garland. I got a Cricut for Christmas, so we're gonna let it cut all the hearts. And yeah, so we're gonna get into that. I thought that while you watch me do that, to keep things more interesting, I would tell you the story of how my husband and I met and the beginning of our relationship and sort of how we ended up together. Yeah, we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary of being together, not marriage. And it feels like a really big milestone. Okay, I'm gonna make myself some tea so that I can sit down and tell you all of this. You're gonna watch me zoom around the house and just put some cute little pink and red things everywhere. And it should be a fun day together. Okay, my tea has to brew for a minute, so I thought we'd get started. My husband and I met 10 years ago. We were planning to go on a coffee date. So we had met online and chit-chatted there for quite some time, and then we were planning to go out to coffee. But he actually ended up inviting me to go see a band the night before we were supposed to meet. So his brother and sister-in-law and he were going to see a concert at George's Majestic Lounge, and he was really excited about the opening band, which is called Me Like Bees. They're from Joplin, they're very fun. And he said, hey, do you want to come too? And I was like, oh, well, we're supposed to get coffee the next day, but yeah, I'll go to the show, whatever. That sounds fun. And so I had a friend drive me to the show. It was very fun. His brother and sister-in-law had actually invited another girl to come, I think with the intention of helping him not be the third wheel. And then I showed up. Casey didn't know that that was gonna happen, so it wasn't like he had been set up on this like date officially or anything. There was just, they had another friend there who happened to be another girl. She went off to dance at some point, and Casey and I sat, and I just remember him being so funny that night. That's like what stood out to me. So Casey actually drove me home that night, and then we still had our coffee date the next morning. So said goodnight to him, got up the next morning and met up again for coffee. So we just like immediately were really attracted to each other and wanted to be together kind of all the time. You know the end of the story because here we are. Let me grab my tea and then we'll keep going. Really? Oh, that looks good. That's perfect. It's just a really perfect match. Well, at that time, Casey and I were both riding our bikes a ton. I was commuting every day to work and school on my bike, and he was riding his road bike for exercise, like really long rides. So we were both in really great shape and could ride really well. And Casey found out about this trail that goes across the entire state of Missouri, which is called the Katy Trail. And he was telling me about it, like, this is really interesting. It'd be so cool to do this one day. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And he was a little bit like, oh, I was just telling you about this cool thing. And I sort of pushed him to be like, no, let's like do the cool thing. And so, yeah, we started planning for that trip. It took a lot of getting the right gear together because we hadn't like overnight bike tripped before. So we were researching and like purchasing what we needed and like sharing what that was with each other for a long time. And then so we had met in the end of January was our first date, and I graduated from college in that May. And so pretty much right after I graduated, we headed out to Missouri together in his car with our bikes, and we rode across the whole state. It was 4 very hard days of riding, and we did a mix of like hammock camping and staying in hotels. And then we rode the train back with our bikes on the train back to his car to come home. So that experience, I think, was actually one of the things that really helped us just put our relationship to the test, kind of maybe at the right time, at least for us. We were maybe 4 or 5 months in, and we did this really hard physical thing, just like a big challenge. It put us like really close together. There was this one night that we were hammock camping, like in a dugout on a baseball field. And it was so windy and cold that we ended up getting into one of our hammocks together. And so it just really pushed us very close, and put us in positions where, like, I got hurt one day, so we were like dealing with that together, and just like dealing with challenges kind of from the get-go. If we hadn't done that, I don't know if we would be where we are today. I think it was shortly after that. I want to say it was like around September of that year that we moved in together. My lease had ended, and then I moved in with Casey to his house. And then a year or two later, we bought our first house together. And then in 2017, Henry was born. All along our whole relationship, we've been traveling. We love every kind of travel. So we've spent a lot of time traveling abroad, flying places, and we also love road trips. We used to take my little Suzuki Sidekick all over the place. And then in 2020, we bought our motorhome that we did our full renovation on. And then that's when we started our whole like main family YouTube channel, so you can see all of the adventures from then on if you care to check that out. But yeah, so we've just kind of, ever since the Katie, we've just been continuing to go on adventures of every kind together, and it's been really amazing. Yeah, about 3 years ago we got married, actually, just for insurance purposes, but it's official if you care about that. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, you can like this video, you can subscribe. Those are big ways to help me out on this channel over here. Like I mentioned, my husband and I have our main YouTube channel, which is called Wilder Adventures. I'll link that in the description below if you want to go check that out. If you came from over there, hi, welcome. This channel is a lot more of what I'm doing. Casey's here too often. Just this is more of what's happening when we're at home. So our other channel is a lot of our projects, builds, things related to getting ourselves out on the road, and then those trips are documented there as well. So all of our adventures for the past 5 years and incoming are there, which is very fun. But if you want to see kind of what we get up to when we're living everyday life here at what we call our home, Wilder Mountain, this is the place to see more of that. And I'm excited that you're all here. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you are all finding a little bit of love, whether it's for yourself or someone else.